this video, we're going to talk about how many videos you should be posting, both in shorts and in long form content, and why I know this is true, because I have seen behind the curtain. And by behind the curtain, what I mean is that I have seen the wizard of the YouTube algorithm. If you don't know, this is Todd. And Todd is basically the Wizard of Oz of YouTube. There's this all-powerful algorithm everybody talks about. And how does it work? It's so mysterious. Well, Todd knows better than anybody because he is the guy. And recently, he said some things, and this should make you rethink what you believe about how YouTube actually works. This guy, Alex, I don't know Alex, but he tweeted that he had 2 million views from only about 20 shorts published. One, congrats, Alex, very nice. But he also said out of 900 long-form videos, he couldn't even get 500,000 views. He asked, why is this and how can he capitalize on it? Well, the voice of Todd came down and then he replied with something that might surprise a lot of you. Now, this is talking about individual videos, but what he said was that the number of videos published isn't a factor in determining whether a video might be relevant to a viewer. Now, stop there. It isn't a factor in determining whether a video is relevant to a viewer. Not that it won't affect how well it does in general, but determining its relevance is not based on the number of other videos on that channel. A lot of traffic is determined by supply, like the competition in that video space, and demand. Volume of user interest. Like, are there 1,000 videos and only 10 people want to see it? Or are there 10 videos but 1,000 people want to see it? Perhaps your shorts are finding a better market for you than your long form. Congrats! 1, good job being a nice guy, Todd. And 2, you guys really need to think about this. What this means is that your channel is even less handicapped than you think it is by the fact that you don't have a lot of videos. You can have 2 videos or 2,000 videos, and that metric alone won't impact whether or not YouTube thinks that video is relevant to a specific audience. But what's even more interesting is what he said next. Perhaps, but YouTube doesn't need to know exactly what a video is about to recommend it. Think about that for a second. YouTube doesn't need to know what a video is about to recommend it. Sometimes it's just an observable pattern of people who will like video A tend to like video B, regardless of topic. Titles are less important in shorts. Focus on what the audience sees. Your titles aren't a big deal for your shorts. This is actually amazing news because sometimes it's really hard to title a short. Maybe it doesn't matter so much. So if you're creating short form content, the Wizard of Todd said, don't worry about the titles, just make the content great. But also there's another thing in here. YouTube doesn't need to know what a video is about to recommend it. Does that mean the algorithm is dumber than we thought it was? Does that mean the algorithm doesn't know what it's about? It's just like, hey, if A, then B, therefore let me do more A. And I'll tell you, for me, that takes a little bit of the stress off. But it also means that we've got to focus more, not less, on organically attracting our target audience. Now, if that's something you struggle with, trying to figure out exactly what your target audience is, I make content on that, so consider subscribing if you're interested. I'll make more content on that, and then you can click the bell so you actually get notified when those come out. But that wasn't all that Todd said this week. Oh no, there was another one. vidIQ, these guys, made a tweet, and they asked, what's your goal for number of uploads this month? And Todd replied, ooh, more Todd info. And Todd was like, hey guys, you got it wrong. He said, I wouldn't recommend setting a goal around number of uploads unless you are doing so in the context of practicing the video craft and or experimenting. No goal on number of uploads? Once you find the audience fit, again, target audience, not niche, you should be focused on minimizing uploads and maximizing value per upload for your audience. Minimizing uploads, maximizing value for you and your audience. Todd is saying quantity isn't a big deal. Now, we know that's not exactly true, but it might mean that focusing purely on quantity while sacrificing quality really is, as some people have said, not the way to go. It's always going to be both. So if you're pushing out 3, 4, 5 videos a week and they're not really penetrating your audience well, you're missing out on what YouTube could be doing in the way of recommending your content. Now, if you're struggling with the quality of your content, it's not getting great watch time, one of the best ways to fix that is to make it a little more interesting through editing. And there are 8 simple ways to do that. I made a video on them, so after you hit subscribe, go ahead and click here to watch that.